everyone. Thanks for joining us. I am Shannon Johnson with Journey Home Realty, and today I am joined with Wendy Laster and Julianne Routten, attorneys-in-law and owners of Routten Laster Law. Thank you guys so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so thank you. I am going to jump right into it. First, Wendy, let's start with you. Tell me, what made you decide to become a lawyer?
Oh, real answer. I would love to have some heartfelt answer that says I want to help all the community in the world. I do that anyways, but my real answer is somebody challenged me that I couldn't do it.
Oh, that's fair.
So I was told I couldn't do it, and I'm like, yeah, I can. Never thought about it, but doing it before. I'm like, sure, I can do that, and so I did.
I freaking love it. You're like, oh, watch and see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so Julianne, do you have a real committed journey that you took that made you decide to do this?
I do. I have horses, and they enjoy eating.
Oh, that's fair. Yes.
So,
yes. You're like,
expensive hobby.
I have a very expensive hobby.
Very expensive hobby. Very large, expensive hobby. Yes. Okay. So then what made you guys decide to open up your own law firm?
Well, so I have been in private practice for several years and was a partner with my previous law firm. And it got to a point where, so straight out of high school, I got into the real estate industry.
Oh.
For the most part, people don't do real estate on purpose. I did.
But you did.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
But no, so straight out of high school, that was the temporary job that I ended up doing while I was in undergraduate at Christopher Newport. And so that's something that I knew. And in my previous practice, I got to do, but couldn't do as much as I wanted. And so ultimately, to be able to almost exclusively practice real estate, Julianne and I decided that's what we wanted to do. And so we did it.
Okay, so you guys met at another private practice?
Yes. So I was actually the associate at their law firm originally.
Oh.
And fast forward 6 years after starting there, Wendy and I decided to take the leap together, and we realized that we worked extremely well together, and we were kind of the yin and the yang. And so here we are.
Wow.
And it could help that I trained her in the real estate department when she came in. So we very much like-minded in that way.
That is so awesome. I did not realize that you guys started out together somewhere else. That is cool. Okay, so then what other services besides real estate do you guys offer here?
So doing all the real estate, we found that we have so many investors that it was a good idea, and I learned this a long time ago, to do business formation as well. So when we've got somebody that, Joe Blow that wants to come in and start investing in properties, we can kind of advise him maybe this is a better idea to do it as a separate entity and kind of talk through those kind of things. So I do business formation as well, and then Joy, I'll let her talk about what she likes to do.
So we also do estate planning and adult guardianships.
Oh.
And so for people who don't otherwise have their estate plan in place, we can petition the courts to be able to get guardianship and conservatorship for people who are not able to be able to handle their affairs anymore.
Oh, wow.
And so they kind of go hand in hand really well, especially with the estate portion of things in a lot of our real estate transactions where we have estates handling sales of property.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it's good that you guys have that knowledge in that arena as well. Awesome. So, ladies, I know you're not from here, so what made you decide to come to Hampton Roads?
Well, so I got transplanted here. So my daddy was Air Force out at Langley.
Okay.
And so he decided that he wanted to retire from Hampton, from Langley. And so between Idaho, Spain, although he would have stayed in Spain.
Agreed.
Idaho, Spain, Italy, West Virginia, he decided here. So once I got here and I was in school, I met my now husband in high school. And so we both decided this is where we were staying.
No, and I think even our boys can attest. They love this area, and I think once we've dragged you all over the world, there is just this need to want to put roots down. So it makes sense why you stayed here, and it's a great area.
That's for sure.
Okay, so Julianne, you're from Vermont, so what brought you here?
So I actually attended law school down here in Virginia Beach. And met my now husband in law school. And he is born and raised in Hampton, and he advised me that his family has lived in the same 5-mile radius since the Mayflower.
Okay, good.
And so when we decided we were going to get married, it was evident that there was no leaving this area.
Fair.
And at that point, you know, Hampton Roads has become our home, my home as much as his.
Yeah.
And so I love it. It's nice to have the 4 seasons without having 9 months of winter like Vermont has. So
I agree. I like our 4 seasons. I like a little bit of snow, but I don't want months of snow.
Yeah.
And honestly, past February, I'm like, all right, well, it's time for spring. Yeah.
Yep,
So
exactly.
thank goodness that's what we get here. Okay, so you guys both transplanted here. So what would you say has been your most memorable experience so far since you've started Routten Laster?
Ooh, okay. So unfortunately, most of the memorable things we have are getting through a really, really tough situation. So, or getting our clients through a really tough situation. And usually that comes from estates type things where, you know, we have somebody that passed, we have 23 heirs and we're working our way through. But what we really try to focus on is more of making memorable experiences for our clients than making them for ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then I will reword it. What has been the most memorable experience you've provided or relief for your clients?
You got something good for that one?
I should have known with 2 attorneys I was going to have to reword that question a little bit better.
And you think we'd be prepared with a better answer too. But
So one of the things that I would say we find most rewarding is when we are able to come up with creative solutions that are out of the box to solve a problem. Because for most transactions, everybody involved in a real estate transaction, their end goal is to get the house closed.
Yes.
Whether you're on the buyer side, you're on the seller side, and if there is an issue that comes up, being able to come up with a solution that may or may not have been on everybody's, you know, forefront to be able to cross that finish line. Sometimes that's one of the most rewarding things, because at that point you can make the phone call and go, I think we have a resolution for this.
Oh, yes, I agree. Because for those of you who don't know, they are our preferred closing company, and we have definitely utilized them in some challenging situations. Never more than a phone call away, even at odd hours. I think Julianne has called me at like 8 at night one time. Just because, like you said, we are really trying to get clients to the end. And sometimes there are deed and title issues and
sometimes it's not always a legal answer either. It's a matter of what's a different way we can do this to get to the same result.
Yeah.
So, and I will say that in that respect, I'm very old school, that you can get so much accomplished with a phone call. And so whether that's a phone call to the agents that are involved, to the lenders, to the other side, whoever that may be, sometimes it's just a phone call that you can make things happen.
I agree. I think there's something to be said about the relationship that you build when you have a phone conversation. Yes. Well, awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I wanted to, one more thing. If, since we're about to be in a huge PCS or move season, what is your advice or a place that you would recommend that folks moving from out of town, where should they stop or eat on their way in? What is your favorite spot here?
Oh, okay. So if I have to have, I don't have one. So I'm going to go. So I'm the total history nut. I love to live history. And so the historic triangle, absolutely best. So you've got Yorktown, you've got Jamestown, you've got Colonial Williamsburg. Again, as a young dating couple, when I met my husband, we're 15, 16 years old. Colonial Williamsburg, there's no better place for cheap entertainment.
Yes, you're right.
You can walk through there, enjoy it, all those kind of things, and maybe learn some stuff along the way. So that would sort of be my go-to. Favorite place to eat? I got to give it Oceans and Ale up in Williamsburg.
Yes, that is our jam. That is our jam when we were stationed here before. Yes. No, so I agree. I think that no matter what season we're in, Colonial Williamsburg is just breathtaking. And you don't even have to pay to go in. It's just the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so but try to stick on the other side of the water, since that's where you live.
So I live in Hampton.
Oh, you do? I thought you lived in Virginia Beach.
Nope. So I live in Hampton, but actually where I was going to go is on the other side of the water.
Okay.
Because during COVID, we actually went out more than I think we ever have to eat during non-COVID time. And it was because most of the restaurants that were on the water, you could get to by boat, and they had outdoor seating. or you could eat on your boat.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
So,
yeah.
My husband and I love taking our dog, and we traverse the rivers in the area. And we actually have gone to the Porch, which is in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Never been there by land, so I don't know how it is for traffic purposes. But by boat, it is phenomenal. Amazing views, amazing food.
And it's called the Porch.
The Porch in Virginia Beach. It's right next to Chick's Oyster Bar.
Yeah, well, I know where
Over in
Chick's
Linden.
is.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to try the Porch. Yes, because we have definitely frequented Oceans and Ales more than I like to admit. It's our jam. Okay, well, awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I am Shanon Johnson with Journey Home Realty, and we have Wendy Laster and Julianne Routten with Routten Laster Law. If you or someone you know would like to be interviewed for our website, please reach out to the website below. And thank you, ladies, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a good one.